Welcome to day 10, forward folds. Let's begin in mountain pose, Tadasana, lining the heels up underneath the sitting bones so you feel your ankle, knee, and hip joints more or less stacked. Let's unlock the knees. Allow the feet to release into the embrace of gravity, and out of that, allow the spine and the crown of the head to rise. Relax the weight of the arms and shoulders. Please bring one hand over your heart. Reflect for a moment on why you're practicing today. What do you need? And now please relax that arm to your side. Let's go just a little bit wider than the hips with the feet. And let's warm up with some of those big arm circles with the breath. Remember that you can modify how big or how small you make these. Start with a little bend in the knees, a little bend forward in the torso, cross the wrists down low. As you inhale, sweep the arms out and up overhead. Fingers might touch, they might not. On the exhale, fold forward, cross the wrists down low. Now follow the pace of your own breath and the signals of your own body, please. As the back and the legs warm up, you might find the movement gets a little more dramatic. And let's make this next dive a swan dive into umpire pose. Bending the knees, resting the elbows to the thighs. I'm just going to show you the side view. Finding the position of the legs that best supports the weight of the upper body. Head just in line with the spine, neck relaxed. On your next inhale, press into the feet, rise back up, bring the hands together overhead, and this time back to mountain pose. Hands glide to heart center. Return your arms to your side, roll out your shoulders a little bit, shake out your hands. Okay. So now we're going to focus on Uttanasana, forward hang, in a more formal way, and I'm going to demonstrate it using blocks. You think back to the how-to video. You might use a chair. You might also continue with umpire, what we just did. If you don't have blocks, thick books, almost anything can work for these. I'm going to demonstrate it to you from the side. You'll be in mountain pose with the feet hips distance or slightly wider if you want to accommodate your torso, if you want to make a little room. The blocks are on either side of your feet and slightly forward, so about shoulder distance apart. If this is your first time watching the video, you can watch first, join as you feel ready. If you've seen it before, you can start with me. Balance your weight on your feet, front to back, side to side. Unlock the knees. On your inhale, stretch your arms out at shoulder height, palms turned forward. And as you exhale, bend the knees, reach down and touch the blocks. On your inhale, push into your feet, rise back up to the starting position. On your exhale, bend the knees and fold forward. Keep going. So you're using just enough bend in the knees to facilitate the transition without strain to the back. Now, this last one here, we're going to go in and hold. So find a position you're able to maintain comfortably, and it may be that you stay here, minimizing flexion, maximizing support. Others of you who wish to explore more spinal flexion, bend your knees a little more first. Drape the belly down over the thighs, and now let the elbows bend, let the head go. You might lower the blocks now. You can rest the backs of the hands to the blocks like this. So now the back is more rounded, it's more draping around you. And now that the legs are a little more warm, if you wish, in this position, you can think of straightening the legs just a little bit more. If you lose the contact between the belly and the thighs, go back to bent knees. Let this stretch feel good to you. Now once again, please bend your knees, come up on your fingertips so that the chest can rise a little. Bring your hands to your hips, push into your feet, and lever yourself back up to standing. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way. And please bring yourself back into mountain pose. Observe the effect of your first sequence of forward folds. Okay. So after we do something that's a little more work like that, we want to do something really refreshing and neutralizing for the back. So let's head to all fours, table position for Chakravakasana. This is one we've done before. So I'm going to move my blocks off the mat. I'm going to bring a blanket on to pad the knees, recommended. And please set yourself up in all fours. If all fours is not going to work for you today, you have the alternatives in the how-to video on day 4, mobilizing the spine, on how to do this pose seated. Otherwise, root into the arm bones, root into the thigh bones. Make your shoulder and hip joints feel level on your body, neutral. Draw the tailbone slightly back and the crown of the head slightly forward so that the spine feels fully elongated. Wherever you are in your breath cycle, take a nice, easy breath in. And as you exhale, round the low back, lower the elbows and head as you pull the hips back. On the inhale, lift the chest off the thighs, coming forward. On the exhale, hug the belly in, draw down and glide back. So on the inhale, front spine is stretched long. And on the exhale, here's the forward folding position. Chest moving to the thighs, back spine stretched out. Keep going, please. In this pose, as in all the others, once you know where we're going, please follow the pace of your own breath. You don't have to match mine. The next time you're in table pose, please stay. And let's transition to child's pose, please. Bring your big toes together and walk your knees out. Shift your hips back as far as they'll comfortably go towards your heels. On an inhale, feel the upper back stretch forward. And on an exhale, feel the low back stretch back, and then down you go. If your forehead won't comfortably rest on the floor, then stack your hands or your forearms and make a little pillow. Feel the back body just wrap around you like a cape. Okay, so we're ready for our next forward folding sequence, which is our own adaptation of Paschimottanasana. So if you have very flexible hamstrings, your back feels great today, you may not need to be as propped as I'm going to be. You might just sit on the edge of a folded blanket with nothing under your knees. Now the rest of us might prop ourselves up on a bit of a cushion and might prop our knees up. I'm using blocks. This could be a rolled towel, anything that just maintains a little bit of bend in the knees for you. For now, have the hands to the thighs. Feel yourself forward enough on whatever you're sitting on that if you scooted forward one more time, you'd scoot right off. And that position will help you to keep the pelvis nice and mobile. Okay, so the movement itself, coordinated with breath, is going to look a lot like what you did when you were standing at the start of this practice. So once again, you can watch for a moment first if you wish, or join right away. As you inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, palms turned forward. As you exhale, bow over the legs, bring the hands to the shins. Bow to the degree that feels comfortable for you. The inhale brings you up, and the exhale tilts you forward. Keep going. Let the tilt be initiated by the pelvis, not the waist. Now, the nice thing about the repetitions is they warm you up gradually. And you may find over time, you're reaching a little further. If you're not, no problem. Let's make the next one a hold. So coming in, some of you now might be past your ankles. Some of you now might be cheerfully holding on to your toes. I'm going to come back here on my ankles. So right now we're relatively neutral in the spine. But just like when we were standing, we're going to have the opportunity to explore one last little bit of spinal flexion and actually letting the back round a bit. So on your next inhale, feel the chest lift right off the belly. And on your exhale, hug the belly in and relax over the legs. So now there's no muscular effort. Just let the body drape over the legs. Let the head go. And just allow the back body to drape around you like a shawl as you sort of tuck in on yourself. Now lift the chest off the belly again. Slide your hands back up the thighs. Drop the shoulders, rise tall. Checking in, taking note of how you feel That's information for next time. And then once more, after doing something that's a little more work for the back, let's do something that's really refreshing for the back. So let's lie down. Taking out all your supportive props. You may bring a blanket under the head if you wish. Lower yourself down. Take your knees up in towards your chest. Grab on either behind the thighs or in front of the shins with your hands or a strap. And please rock side to side. Oh, that should feel really good. Massaging the back muscles into the floor. And now take hold of the knees. Draw circles with both knees one way. Now massaging specifically around the sacrum. Circle the other way. And now let go of the knees. Stand the feet to the floor, coming into your own preferred constructive rest variation. Just letting the spine settle in, letting your breath find itself. Taking a few moments to focus on sensation of breath in the belly. And the releasing quality of the exhale. And now choose a side you'd like to roll to. As you roll, use that side hand or arm for a pillow. Slowly help yourself up. Bring yourself into a comfortable seated position of your choice. Notice sensation in the back body. Again, this is information. Sometimes you don't get all the information until the next day, when you really feel what you did. And that's why we go gradually in yoga, so that even if you go a little too far one day, the results are not long lasting. Please bring your hands into your heart. Reflect back on the heart's desire you identified for yourself at the start of your practice. Affirming how that will guide you now as you head out into your day or your evening. Our practice together is complete. Thank you so much for taking this time to fold forward with me. I'll see you tomorrow.